I always like to say we're INFJs. We don't have to do all the things. We just have to do the right things. And as INFJs, we have a couple of ways of being productive in the world in a way that makes sense to us. It's called INFJ Epic Life on your terms for a purpose. We're not going to do anything we're forced to do, anything we do because we do it out of fear. This is a place where you learn how to use who you are to get the impact you want, the life that you want, and live out an epic life that makes sense to you, where you look at your life and you feel like, yeah, that's a person who's made it. That person is winning in life. Because the truth is, we're the only ones who know what winning means to us. But it's necessary to understand how we're going to get there. How do we work? What makes us most productive? And again, this is not about being busy. This is not about being a workaholic or hustling or doing things how everybody else is doing them. It's about understanding how our unique makeup is going to make us win in a way we always wanted, in a way that makes sense to us. And we're going to do this effortlessly and in alignment with who we are. Before we get started, I want to remind you the next INFJ Epic Life Bootcamp is launching October 26th. So if you want to join our amazing community of hundreds of INFJs who continuously build their INFJ Epic Life together and get amazing results, then join now. You can get on the waiting list to get access to the early bird price. You can download the free poster that gives you an insight on the bases we're talking about. And I really welcome you into our community that makes such great impacts all around. Everything you need to know you can find in the links in the description. I'm going to get straight to it because this isn't a motivational video. This is about understanding how we work. So there are two main ways of operating that are a part of who we are. The one is receiving all the insights. That is our intuition. That is the main thing we have to not only understand, love, appreciate, but we actually have to do more of that. We have to lean into that. We have to make space for that. Because if we don't have the insights, we're not going to get the impact we want, because this is our superpower. This is where we will get the most bang for our bucks. So keep that in mind. We need to have the insights of what to do. And then the opposite of that is taking action. We're never going to be ESTPs. We're never going to be nonstop bulldozers who just go and conquer continuously without stop. But guess what? We don't have to be. Because this isn't our superpower. This is a tool we have, and we have to utilize it as much as we possibly can. That being said, I really want you to become aware of what you want. So every single time somebody wants you to do something and you do it because you feel like that's what everybody should do or would do, otherwise I would look weird, you're not acting in alignment with who you are. That doesn't mean that you have to stop doing that right away, but become aware of it. So if I, for example, say I want to be healthy, I want to be fit, I'm really excited about that part of my life, and then I see some chips and I want to eat them, it is still my choice to say, no, I am not going to do that, although that's my first instinct. I'm going to do what I really want, and I'm going to go for it. I'm going to eat healthy, and I'm going to be fit, and I'm going to have so much energy to go after the life I want. So this is an example of doing something that you actively decide to do. Yes, I wanted the chips, but I don't want them that much. I'm actively choosing to go the other route. Now, please stay with me because we're not going to keep this at the level of chips, right? We're going to talk about big level stuff here. So this is just to understand the concept. If, on the other hand, you are at a job and everybody around you is a workhorse and they're just doing, and you feel like you have to act like that in order to survive, this is something you do out of fear, out of, I have to comply, otherwise I'm going to get sacked. I'm going to get fired. People are not going to like me. And then we always get to a place where we're burned out, where we feel like we're not good enough, and we're working against our nature because we're not the kind of people who continuously have energy to do. And if we do that, we're really letting go of our biggest potential, which are our insights. So if you know that, you can actively choose to go a different route. I always advocate no matter what you want to do in life, you don't have to give up what you're currently creating or what you've created so far. So if you have a job that isn't all that, but it's a job that pays your bills, that makes you feel safe, keep that job while you search for a new job, while you create the purpose in the world the way you want, right? We don't need to blow up our entire life in order to create the life we always wanted, right? The way things have worked so far in your life are already good enough, right? It's not like it's horrible. We always have to be appreciative of what we've created so far. But knowing that, we have to really look into our biggest power source, and that is our intuition. So what does it take for our intuition to work in a very productive way for us? We want to 10x our life, remember? This is not about, oh, I want to improve a little bit over here. We want to really expand to a level we have never reached before. So intuition. In order to receive the insights you need to make space. You need to have peace and you need to have energy. So if you're constantly overworking yourself at work, cut it down a little bit. You don't have to perform at high level speed because you already know it's going to burn you out. So do whatever you can to create space for yourself. That means cutting out toxic people, really stepping back, maybe be more in hermit mode, and then leave room for your insights. You have to put yourself a little bit in a box though. You have to decide what you want. So very often we don't know what we want exactly, but we know if we had to make a choice, what would it be? And it starts with small things. So let's say you're sitting on the couch with your partner and you're asking each other, what are we going to watch? Most of the time we INFJs are like, I don't care. What do you want to watch? Well, make it a habit to ask yourself, if I had to choose, what would I choose? We have to start asking the right questions in order for insights to come in. Again, the movie doesn't really matter. We're talking about big stuff here, but this is just to give you an example of how it works. So the box we have to put ourselves in is the one that says, if I'm going to create the next step in my life, what would it be? Is it relationships? Is it a business? Is it my purpose? Is it a combination of all? Is it a new job? Do I want to, have an impact on the world? What is the next big area I want to focus on? By the way, this is something we do in bootcamp continuously because it's all about the 5 pillars. There are different areas of our life and all of them are going to get us closer to where we want. Because every single time we're asking the questions, what do I want in this area? Do I have a romantic relationship that I like? How are my friendships? How are my relationships with my relatives? What is the next thing I'm going to focus on when it comes to this area? How about my finances? Do I feel secure? Do I feel taken care of? Do I feel comfortable? If not, what is the next step I could take? So asking those questions and defining those areas is going to be a huge point for you. That is essential because if you don't ask those questions, you're not going to get an answer. So it is all about what would it take? It's what is the next step? And leaving room for that. Meaning, don't fill your life up. Make it as minimal as you possibly can. Because that's when your energy is going to go towards, what is the idea that can come up? So if you, for example, ask yourself, there's something I want to do where I use my voice and I share my message, what would it be? If you continuously put that thought into your mind, you will get an insight. It is not supposed to be the end all be all, but it's the next step to take. And this is where we need to not only listen to our intuition, but take action on it. And that is the next important aspect. We not only have to take action on it, but we have to make sure that we separate both processes. Meaning, if you're in a state of receiving, if you're in a state of your intuition, if you're in a state of, I'm relaxed and I'm allowing answers to come up, that's a whole different mode of operating than taking action. I've talked to INFJs who've told me, and I've done this myself many times before I really became aware of this, truth, that we cannot take action in the moments where we're really leaning into our intuition. Those are the opposite kind of energies. We either going to use our energy to stand still, make a room, and allow the answers to come in, and they will come in sporadically. They will come up while we're in the shower. They will come up, while we're taking a walk. Those answers will come up if we don't bombard our mind with, stupid things, with things that are taking away our energy. So this is all about, okay, I'm not going to go so much into limerence if I know my answer is not going to be found there. The more emptiness you create in your life, the more you allow those answers to come up if you define what the questions are. And I really encourage you to write those answers down immediately, because you're going to forget them. I forget them. I forget them all the time. So I have a notes app and I write down every single time I have an idea for a video. Those ideas come randomly, but I make space for them and I have asked for them. So they come in and I write them down. That is a completely different state of operating than taking action on it. Because when you take action, you know what you have to do? You have to put blinders on. You have to go into action mode. You have to go into producing mode. So that is the moment when you look for that job, when you write that resume, or you use AI or somebody to help you to create that. Remember, we're not in a place where we have to do everything ourselves. We just have to know what it is, and we're going to get help somehow. You'll find a way. Just look on the internet. Either a person or something else will help you to get there, right? So it's all on you to just decide what you're going to do in one state, and then really carve out time that is all about taking action. For me, it's the same way. I do not mix those two ever. And this is one of the most successful strategies that I've used in my life. That is the reason why I have been consistent for 10 years. This is the reason why I get the results I want. And this will work for you too. Separate those two processes. Carve out time for taking action and then go all in. Really use all your energy to get what you want in that moment. It doesn't have to be a big step, because particularly in the beginning, we're going to work against our own limiting beliefs, against self-sabotaging behaviors, but use all the energy that you've gathered up to get it done. And then afterwards, you really lay low, you relax, you regenerate. You're not somebody who constantly needs to do things. Remember, you're an INFJ. You don't have to do all the things. You just have to do the right things. This is our advantage point. This is our hero function. This is what we're best at. So really utilize that skill. Get the insights and then put it into action. Make it happen. This is something that happens because you chose to do it. It's not because somebody expects you to do this. It's not because you do it out of fear that people are going to reject you. You're doing this because you had the insight that this is the next step to take. And when I have my blinders on, things are getting done. For example, now, I'm recording 3 videos in a row. That's what I do. I do this once a week. At that time, that's the only big task of the day. I have cut off everything else. I have removed all the other obligations I might have. I remove this aspect of, I'm going to relax. I'm going to allow the insights to come in. No, that's happening at a different time. I've carved out my life in a way that gives me the space and time to be in that mode. And when you're in action mode, you're in action mode. SE, extroverted sensing, is part of your makeup. You don't need to be in that all the time. Just when you're in that mode, know why you're in that mode. Use the energy that you have to bring your idea to life, because that's the best use of it. So once you have those blinders on, it's about taking action. It's about making it happen. And once you regenerate, once you make space, once you've defined questions that are going to get you to the next level, you're going to get insights and you're going to take action on that again. It's that continuous balance between receiving and taking action that's going to get you to where you want. You just have to make sure that you utilize those 2 aspects in a way that are most beneficial to you and that you separate them too. And once you do that, you will see amazing results in your life. I love when I talk to people who've been in boot camp for a year or so and they tell me all the transformation that has happened to them because they continuously see not only me doing that, but everybody around them. It's inspiring and they take action too. And, amazing things are happening that we never thought possible because it just felt too overwhelming. You have all the tools you need. Live out the INFJ Epic Life on your terms. Remember, if you want to do this in a group and join our amazing community of hundreds of INFJs who get the results they want together and even faster, then join this live round starting October 26th. Everything you need to know you can find in the links in the description. And if you want to watch another video now that is in alignment with today's topic, then check out the video you see on the screen right now. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.